I want you to watch this video before you even think about getting a girl's phone number ever again. Cue that intro.
Okay.
What's up, man? Patrick James here, and like I said, in this video, I'm gonna show you why you should never be striving to get a girl's phone number, and in fact, why getting a girl's phone number can actually prevent you from ending up with her, and I might even use the handy dandy whiteboard to explain it. But before we get to that, I do have a quick announcement, and that is we do have an upcoming boot camp in September in Scottsdale, Arizona on September 20th through 22nd. There's only 30 spots available, and 20 of them are already gone, and we just announced this 1 week ago. So if you want to come and work with me directly at our upcoming Forbidden Keys to Seduction boot camp in September, and you want one of these last 10 spots before they're gone, then shoot me an email at rawdatingadvice@gmail.com with the subject line, I want in, and let me know that you're interested in coming, and we'll chat to see if you're a good fit to come. Like I said, we only have 10 spots left, and the first 20 spots were taken up in less than a week, so you don't want to procrastinate on this. Now let's get into the topic of today's video. So, as you may know, I've talked about the 5 windows of opportunity to seducing any woman. These are basically the 5 checkpoints in the exact order that you need to take this girl through, that you need to lead her through every time you meet a girl, have an interaction with her that leads to you ending up with her in her bedroom having sex, right? So every seduction is gonna go through these 5 checkpoints, and in fact, I cover these in great detail in chapter 69 of my book, 107 Proven Ways to Get the Girl. If you wanna get this and read about it, just go to howtogetthegirlnow.com. This book is free. So here's basically the seductive process overview. Let's say that your dating life is represented by 2 points. In fact, not your dating life, just your interaction with this girl. Point A and point B. Now let me ask you this pop quiz. What is the shortest path between 2 points, point A and point B? Answer? Obviously, it's a straight line. So let's call this the straight line path to seduction. Anytime you meet a girl, if you were to lead this through the 5 windows opportunity perfectly, then you would go down the straight line path to seduction. So what are the 5 windows of opportunity? Very quickly. 1, you gotta meet her. So the moment you approach her, that's when the interaction starts. And then where does it end? Obviously, point B is her bedroom, right? And obviously, if you wanna meet a girl and make her your girlfriend, and maybe that's your goal here, it's the same 5 windows of opportunity. It'll just happen a little bit over time. But as you'll see, time is something that you want to avoid adding to the equation. And we'll talk about that in a second. So 5 windows of opportunity, the 5 checkpoints on this straight line path to seduction. First one, you get her attention. She has to know you exist first. So that's why we can call this approaching. Second one is attraction. So I'll put an A for attract. Third one is connection. Fourth one is isolation. And then 5th one, you end up in her bedroom, and we can even just call that escalation. So these are the 5 windows of opportunity. So most guys, if they don't know about the straight line path to seduction, 1, they're gonna be deviating off the path. And so rather than, let me clean this up, rather than saying, looking like this, having good enough game to just lead it down the straight line path to seduction so that way things happen as smoothly and as quickly as possible, most guys' interactions look like this. And they never end up actually going here. Now, one of the reasons why is because they don't know the 5 windows of opportunity that we just talked about. For example, when I said attract is step number 2, most guys think that step number 2 after you meet her is connect with her. And I talk about this all the time. If you want to friend zone yourself, the best way to do that is to become friends with her right after you meet her. And you do that by finding commonalities, saying everything you have in common, saying why you guys would be perfect for each other. But if you're finding commonalities and you're connecting with someone right after you meet them, obviously you're becoming friends with them. The only difference between a seduction and a friendship is that you add in sexual tension before you start connecting with her. And so this is where a lot of guys get this wrong, is they get the steps out of order. So just to recap, and again, I cover this in chapter 69 of my book in detail, and I describe every single phase and how to do it. But also in this book, I give you 107 proven ways to create attraction and create tension in the interaction. But here's the thing, man. If this involves 5 checkpoints, all right, approach, attract, connect, isolate, and escalate, if those are the 5 windows, notice how none of those 5 windows have anything to do with getting her phone number. Why is that? Because rather than being a straight line, and this obviously is in a hypothetical perfect scenario, when you meet her, if she wasn't busy, if the logistics worked out, if she was attracted to you and she knew, like, and trust you because you built the connection on the foundation of attraction, it'd be a straight line. She would go home with you right then and there. And that's in a perfect ideal scenario. Obviously, we don't live in a perfect ideal world, so there's gonna be times where you can't meet a girl and then right then and there end up going home with her a few minutes later. Obviously it happens, but it's not gonna happen every time. So just know that for you to continue this interaction at a later date, let's say you've attracted her and you've connected with her a little bit, and so at this point on the straight line, for whatever reason, you can sense that she's not gonna go home with you right then and there. The only time that you would get her phone number, and this is the time where it's most acceptable, is when you can tell you're not gonna be able to go down this logistically for whatever reason. Maybe she's with her friends. That's when you get her phone number. But just know, if she logistically could have gone home with you and the tension was there and the mood was right, but maybe you were just like, I like this girl, she seems like she's into me, I don't want to fuck this up, so I'm going to get her phone number, that way I can walk away from tonight with a win and consider that a notch on my belt, right, of girls whose phone numbers I've landed. Well, if you think like that and you think, well, if I get her phone number, then I was successful because I can text her later on, but you're not taking into account that maybe she would have gone home with you right then and there. Well, anytime you get her phone number, you're actually deviating off. Let me clean this up a little bit. You're actually, right, if this is a straight line, anytime you get her phone number, you're actually deviating off the straight line. And this adds more time to the equation. And there's a phrase in sales, right? And actually Jordan Belfort from The Wolf of Wall Street has a whole book and he calls it the straight line path to selling. Well, if this is the straight line path to seduction, and he always says, when you add time to the equation, when someone says, oh, can I think about it? Oh, can I get back to you? You're adding time to the equation, and time will always kill the sale, right? That's a sales term. Well, in seduction, in this context, time, when you add it, will always kill the tension. And if you know anything about attracting women, or you followed some of my videos, then you know that step 2, attraction, the building block to sexual attraction is tension. And if adding time to the equation, getting her phone number, continuing this at a later date, adding more elements of randomness to where now you're getting her phone number and she's got to respond to your text and she's got to be in the mood to actually go out of her normal routine just to see you. You're adding all these different elements of randomness and time. You're going to kill tension, aka you're going to kill sexual attraction. This is why it's very important to make sure that before you get her number, not only is there a lot of attraction there and you built up enough connection, rapport, and she actually knows, likes, and trusts you enough to see you again at a later date, but you also got to set the tone that the only reason you're getting her number is so that way you can continue the rest of the seductive process at a later date. Because once you add her phone number to your phone and you're adding more time to the equation, like I said, you're deviating off the straight line path to seduction. But again, the only goal of you getting her phone number when you text her is to see her again and go back to this straight line path and continue from where you left off, if that makes sense. I feel like I just drew a lot of squiggly lines and I feel like we just got done with a football practice, but I think you understand the point here. So here's the major takeaway for you. When you meet a girl, bask in the fact that she's attracted to you and be present in the fact that you're building a connection on top of that foundation of attraction, and you're just gonna see where this goes. And should she qualify herself to you, should she meet your standards, maybe you'll bring her into your life. And to end up going home with her or to make this girl your girlfriend, you gotta understand the seductive process as a whole. That way you're not deviating off the straight line and you're actually leading this down the straight line path to seduction with the least amount of resistance in the most natural and organic way possible. And obviously, this channel is going to help you do that. But if you want to learn more about the seductive process as a whole, and you want to learn more about how to create sexual tension in your conversations with girls, that way you're no longer veering off the straight line path without even knowing it, and that way you're not even killing the tension without even knowing it, this book is going to teach you every single one of my proven ways to create sexual tension with a girl when you first meet her. In this book, I want to give it to you completely for free. All you got to do is go to howtogetthegirlnow.com, enter your details, and we'll ship this book, a book just like this, to you anywhere in the world. That said, if you follow the advice that I gave you in today's video, then you're most definitely gonna smash on this Monday. Subscribe to the Raw Dating Advice family if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys on Wednesday. Peace out.
Okay.